In this video, we're going to do some stacking silver. You can also add gold into this. 101. All right. I know a lot of people are seasoned stackers. Some are average stackers. Some are just starting out. I'm getting all kinds of questions, even here on YouTube. What should I start stacking? I'm new. Okay, I can't give financial advice, but I'm going to walk through some of the steps that I tell people at the shop. That's all I can do, my friends, is just try to guide you as best the way I can. So help me out with the thumbs up. Share the videos out. Don't forget to subscribe. I am 43 subscribers away from 7,000 subscribers. 43. Can we get that today? Help me out if you're not yet subscribed. Let's get into the video right now. Stacking 101. I'm going to start out with the new stackers. This could apply to really any stacker out there. What should I be stacking? First of all, that's going to be based on your income. Second of all, that's going to be based on your mind thinking. And I'm going to get into that in a moment here. Let's start with your income. You know, it's going to be based on your income. I don't think you should do it all at one time. No matter how poor or rich you are, you should be making, if you have X, Y, Z amount of cash to burn right now into silver, gold, or platinum, break it up because you can catch a dip. Okay, sometimes that works, sometimes that don't work out too well. Cost average, that's step one. Step two, okay, you're new. Pick 3 different items you like the most. Meaning 90% silver for one. Maybe 5-ounce silver bars. Maybe 10-ounce silver bars. Put that in the same category, right? Now we got one left. Pick something that you really like for, let's say, fun. Okay? Fun stacking. And I'm going to put a bunch of money into the fun stacking when you first start getting stacking. And what I mean by that, fun stuff, maybe add some Christmas rounds. Maybe add in a little bit of a higher premium silver, maybe like a 10-ounce Kookaburra. Alright? This is not financial advice, of course. These do cost a lot more on average. So, gotta keep that in mind. Gotta keep that in mind. Different 10-ounce silver bars cost different depending on the brand. Right? We gotta keep that in mind. If you're after ounces, stack the cheapest. The best deal right now for the bang for your buck is your 90% silver all day long. Look, you can always trade 90 if you feel like you have too much later. Alright? You got to play the market. And I'm going to tell you how I play the market. Right now. Silver's a little bit higher than it has been, right? We can all agree with that. I got 90. I got a little bit of everything. I feel like I'm short right now on the 90 itself. Silver quarters. I'm still after the silver quarters, yes. The prices are starting to be ticked up. Because I'm using my brain and I'm thinking, okay, Chris, you bought these for $200 a roll. You bought these for $196 a roll. You bought these for $220 a roll. Yeah, woulda, coulda, shoulda, right? Should have bought more when it was cheaper, but didn't have this to do it. Gotta keep that in mind. The price cannot be so much of a factor as you get to a medium-sized stacker, a seasoned stacker, been doing it for a number of years. It goes on and on and on, okay? You get, it gets in your head that I bought it for this price back then. Yeah, woulda, coulda, shoulda, but we all need to eat, and we all need to eat, but prices keep going up and up and up and up and up too. That's besides the point. The point is, pick 3 different, if you're new, pick 3 different items. Stack that for a while. Maybe just go with one item. Like 90% silver, especially if you live in the United States. If you think, now this goes on to another thing I want to talk about. If you think this is going to fail, which I do believe at some point, because all fiat currency goes to fiat heaven. At some point, this will get so disvalued. We have lost 98% of the dollar since it's been born in value terms. Think about that. Go back. You don't believe that. Go back to the 40s. Go back to the 30s. Go back to the 20s. Find out. Look up online what stuff cost back then. Use the inflation calculator. You can just put in $50 in 1920 and put this year, 2025, and it will show you what it would take today to use that same services and goods. You'll see the percentage loss. Silver and gold kept up inflation 100%? No. It's a hedge against inflation. It protects you a lot more. I've shown you that with the Pepsi indicator. I've shown that you with a Snickers bar. So, I don't know you folks personally. I don't know a lot of these customers personally at the shop. Look, it is very hard to tell somebody what to stack, how to stack, when to stack. You got to figure that out on your own. Okay, you have to figure that out. And I'm not trying to be a jerk here. I'm just, I cannot give financial advice. If you live in the United States, I'm just going to use the people in the United States for this scenario. Stack 90. That's your best bang for your buck right now. Stack 90. Then it comes in, so we trade later. Okay? Not going to get into the trading right this moment. Gotta pick 3 different items or less. That's how you start out. Find out what you like. Where is your mindset? If you don't think the dollar is going to fail, then maybe go a little bit more riskier. Not really riskier, but, get the little bit lower premium things. Then you get up to the kilos, the 100-ounce bars. Okay, then if the stuff hits the fan, you have these kilos, you have these 100-ounce bars. How are you going to cash them in? All right, yeah, they are lower premium. They're almost at spot for some of this stuff. Pretty close, a lot closer to spot than a 10-ounce bar, 1-ounce bar, 1-ounce rounds. Silver Eagles are high. You got to make my best judgment for myself. You see, I got a little bit of everything. I don't have kilos. I don't have 100-ounce bars. I won't stack them. I think it's just too much silver for me to trade with later on if stuff gets bad. And sometimes it gets a little bit harder to sell if you need quick cash. Some of these coin shops don't have the cash to pay out on a 100-ounce silver bar. Some shops do. You got to keep that all in mind. It's a lot easier to trade a lot smaller 1-ounce, 2-ounce, 5-ounce, 10 ounces. And if you're giving up less silver and not, if you needed a quick $500, all right, well, two 10-ounce silver bars would do the trick. Go to your local coin shop, cash those in. You have a little bit more than $500. Instead of trading in a kilo or 100-ounce silver bar and you're stuck with a bunch of cash and you're like, now I got to convert that back into silver. You're going to lose both ways. So with that being said, you got to be mindful as you shop around. Not saying 100-ounce bars are bad. Not saying kilos are bad. So for the newer people out there, ask your coin shops. They can't give you financial advice. All right? They cannot give you financial advice exactly what to stack. And it's hard because you're trying to point people in the right way, but you got to have that fine line of that advice line, if you get my drift on that. So before I move on, I want to thank channel sponsor Pinbacks for sponsoring my channel, Coin Shop Chris. They have a special. This is your last day warning, my friends. 1921 Morgan dollars. 20 or more. They're $33.05 each. $33.05 times 20. They will ship them to you. You get the best, you get a good deal, and probably the best deal out there. I'm having a hard time finding them a little bit cheaper than that online right now. You know, I do a lot of eBay auctions, and it's not, they're just not, the price is not at that price point right now. They're a little bit more. So they do have, if you want all 1921s, it's silverweight. At the end of the day, that's what you want, is silverweight. So thank you, channel sponsor Pinbacks, for sponsoring Coin Shop Chris. Let's get into the more medium stacker. Been stacking for a while. Okay, been stacking for a while. This talks about trades going on. You know, I wouldn't call myself a seasonal stacker yet, but I would put myself in the category as a medium, long-range stacker because I'm holding for the long term. That's where I would put myself. Not season. You know, not been doing this for 40 years, nothing like that. For those people, trades are not, I'm not 100% for trades. All right, I kind of say, you made your bed, you lay in it. You made the choice when you made your choice to buy that particular piece. Okay, it does not mean I'm changing my position. Gotta go with the times. Like when you're stacking, you go with the times. When price is higher, you change to something else. I've done that. I did that in 2023 when 90% silver went to the roof. So I started getting more rounds, more bars, stuff like that, because it was a lot cheaper than paying up for the 90. So then I went back to 90 shortly after that was all come back down. I started dabbling in the 90 again. And I did real well with the 90. So now I'm looking at my stack. And the things that I am really think I'm short on. Say it again, silver quarters. 90% silver quarters, Morgan and Peace, dollars. No, I'm not a collector. There are collectors out there. That's totally fine. There's stackers and collectors combined. Sometimes when you start stacking, you become a collector because you get really engaged with different items. Items are cool. Okay. Items are cool. Yes. But if you get into a grid down situation, are you really going to get your money back? Or is that really going to hold its value? Got me thinking. Folks know I got some graded coins, right? All right. I got more than this, but I'm showing 3 or 4 here. Yeah, I got some graded coins. Am I really going to get my money back when the crap hits the fan? All right. Well, right now, with the silver price, I probably could do a little bit better. Flip them on eBay, pay the eBay fee, and make a few bucks off of each one. Take that, put it into 90 or Morgan Peace dollars, or Morgan or Peace dollars, or get more 90. I'm debating that right now. All right, I'm debating that if I should do that or not. I've not made that decision yet. It's hard because, you know, I like the graded stuff too. Some people do, some people don't. And one part of my mind, this is where I'm thinking. If I need somebody to come fix something at the house, crap's hitting the fan. Crap's already hit the fan, right? Instead of giving up a 5-ounce bar, maybe 2 of these, 2 ounces instead, the person will be willing to take it because that person knows the value of the graded coins. He or she don't have these 2 particular coins, or these 2 particular labels, I should say. And if that makes the deal, that saves me 3 ounces. Okay, that saves me 3 ounces. That's my mind thinking. Is it going to work out that way? How? Do I know that? No. But it's something you got to think about. Saving ounces. It's like saving dollars, right? Saving dollars. It's the same concept. Just in real money like silver or gold. So let's talk more about the seasoned stackers. The ones that like the really high-end graded coins The really fabulous high-end from different countries. I'm not into that. I make that perfectly clear right off the bat. I'm not into those high-end Morgans, high-end Poland coins, high-end Libertads, high-end Pandas, whatever the case may be. I understand some people love that stuff. High-end Morgans, MS63 plus, MS64 plus, MS66 plus, whatever the case may be. Carson Cities, rare dates. Look, I got no problems, got no gripes if someone's into that type of stuff at all. If you can afford it, great. But again, if crap hits the fan, are those coins really going to hold its value? Meaning, if we start trading peer-to-peer with silver or gold, are those coins going to hold up if you have a contractor come over your house, and I'm using a contractor again, and that one particular piece pays for the whole job? Don't know. All right, don't know. Or would that contractor rather have a 5-ounce round for the job, or add on a pretty cool kookaburra, or add on some silver eagles, add on a gold eagle if the job's a lot higher? Maybe we take a gold eagle, maybe you take 5 ounces of silver eagles to get the job done. Don't know. You got to plan for everything. I'm just not at that level of stacking where I'm going to put a ton of money into these high-graded coins and not knowing what's going to happen later. Okay, not knowing. I got a customer now. We have talked about this customer already. Got a customer now. He's renting that little case out from us. One that spins around. It's got some lights on it, some flashing lights in it. Not too ignoring to see that all the time when you're at the shop. They're just little flickering every now and then. Fine. He's taking his stuff, and when he sells it, we give him the money. He gives us the money back because they want 90% silver. I see too many times, my friends. Too many times. People come in with any type of collection, and this is covering them all. Somebody passes on. This is the worst of it all. Someone passes on and says, grandfather passed on, aunt passed on, whoever passed on, mom passed on, and I don't know what this stuff is worth. And they come in with a big box, a shoebox, couple shoeboxes, maybe an Amazon, a medium-sized Amazon box. That is the worst thing you could tell any coin shop. You don't know what your stuff is worth. The worst thing you can do. And I'm going to tell you why right now. Some shops will take full advantage of that situation. Not us. If we take, there are times, we had some trying times. There's 2 of us going through a box. By the time we get done, it's 2.5 hours. Trying to process everything, giving them a fair price, and then walking out the door saying, I don't know if that's enough. But they had no idea what the price is. We've had that time or two. Well, more than a time or two. We spend a couple hours with somebody going through exactly what they have, and sometimes it's not in full tubes, or rounds, or eagles, or maple leaves, or Britannias, or whatever the case may be. They're mixed. Sometimes they're mixed. Sometimes their junk silver is so mixed up. They got dimes or quarters. So we got to process through, we got to put them through the counter, have them sorted out. Run them through the counter again. Make sure the count is right the first time. Then, who knows that there's a key date in there? We don't have time at that time to go through key dates at that time. It is trying to work in a coin shop. Okay, it's trying. If you are into these high-end graded coins, for one, the prices can be all over the place. Just being transparent here. Okay, just being transparent. You can't always go by the red book. You can't always go by the blue book. You can't always go by off of eBay. You can't always go by off what we call the dealer sheet, the gray sheet, which is probably more accurate out there, but still, at the end of the day, it's what someone else is willing to pay for that higher end graded coin. And this could be on anything. I've seen collections. People come in. People are passed on. High end graded coins. We got to get another shop involved. We don't deal in a lot of high end graded coins. They just don't move at the shop that I work for. You know, they move some. But with our clientele at the shop that I work for is into more common stuff like 90% silver, 5-ounce silver bars, rounds, coins. We do have a handful of graded coin people that come in, MS69, MS70, but the higher-end Morgans, peace dollars, world coins, very, very few people are interested in. Very, very few people are willing to pay that much for a graded coin. Yes, it's rare. Got to keep all this in perspective, as if you're trading for something. And, you know, I dealt with the customer, what was it, last week I guess it was. He come in and he had 2 Carson City MS64 coins. And he wanted to trade out for 90% silver. And so I told him what we were willing to pay for the coins. And it was going to be a little bit more of a competition with the other guy. And I told him, I said, well, we do have another guy. He's got one of these coins sitting in the case. I said, and it's not moving. I said, it's just not moving. And so I gave him information on another coin shop in the area that would probably do a better offer than we would. So he did that. He went to the other shop. He comes back. He buys his 90% silver. Sometimes, you know, you drive 20 miles. The guy got $60 each more than I was able to offer him. Not because I was trying to rip him off. Before anybody says that in the comments. No. That coin shop is a higher end coin shop. It's in a very, very well off area of the state. It's more into high end tourist people. Leave it as that. And that coin shop was able to give him a little bit more. So when that being said, you know, we would love to have bought them, but I'm glad he came back to us. But the other coin shop does not really deal in the 90% silver at all. They do have it. When they get too much, we buy it off of them. You know, they know we are big buyers of 90% silver at any time. So they know they can buy it up, but they pay a little bit less than we do. You know, and it's sometimes if depending on the amount, they said you can go to my coin shop and they will pay you a little bit more if you have a lot of face. When these people come in with $20, $30 face, it's not worth them to drive the 20 miles. And for the gas, back and forth, it's just not worth the drive. You got to use some concept here of your best deals. Going to your local coin shops. Going to channel sponsor Pinbacks. Going to your local coin shows. And I've said that before. You got to be cost averaging everything. It is so hard for me to tell anybody on this channel, especially you write me a comment. Hey Chris, I'm a new stacker. What should I be stacking? That comment's so vague. And I'm not trying to pick on these people at all. I don't care how much money you make. I don't care much money how you have. I really don't want to know that information. Stack what you can afford. Go with your thinking. I gave some examples here today. I hope this video has helped out some more people. These type of videos are so hard to do because it sounds like someone's like financial advice, and I want to make that crystal clear. This is not financial advice by any step of the reason. This is a guide to trying to help you, and the guide changes. My mind thinking changes. Just like the red book, the blue books, they're guides for prices. They're not prices in concrete. eBay is a guide for sold listings. Just because something sold for XYZ 2 months ago, it does not mean that's going to be selling for that today. It could be selling for more. It could be selling for less. We see it in the prices. Everything's changing every single day. Sometimes it changes by the minute with pricing. If you folks have any additional questions, feel free to email me. My email is in the description of every single video. It's hard, very hard to do these videos. Like this. I hope people understand that. Because when I'm talking to thousands of people, it seems like I'm giving everybody the same message, the same advice. No, you can't. Even one-on-one. We don't care what people's incomes are. We don't care if you're dirt poor, you're super rich, you're somewhere in between. Everybody can afford to stack something. That's the main message as well. Everybody can afford to stack something. I don't care if it's just 2 silver dimes a week you can afford. A silver quarter you can afford. A silver $half you can afford. Or you can afford 100 ounces a week. Or somewhere in between every single week. Or every time you get paid. Or once a month. Whatever the case may be. Put something away every time you get paid. That's all I suggest. Not financial advice. Add it as like a monthly bill. That's all. Add it as a monthly bill. Take XYZ amount, put it towards silver or gold. That's all I got for today. See you this afternoon's video.